they behaved that way while Sierra and I were like getting to know each other last summer. So to me, it's never, I never thought of it as romantic.
Virtual reality.
Wes Wilson, it's always such a joy when Danny and I get to chat with you. But this time we're talking about dog sauce. Tell us about what's going on with Pedigree and what you're promoting, because I feel like if anyone's gonna promote dog sauce, it might as well be you.
Let's go.
That's
There's
right.
there's like 90 things that like all tie in perfectly with this bad boy. Obviously, we're starting with dogs and pedigree. Grew up in a dog house. I do live in Manhattan, so I'm still waiting for like the right moment to like feel like a dog needs to be a part of my life. In New York City, but and I travel a lot, so we're gonna get there one day. But basically, these are called drizzlers, so it's like sauce for your dog food. And like I'm also a condiment guy. It matters a lot to me. I judge people based off what condiments they use. Um, yeah, for better or for worse.
Wait,
Annie.
why do I feel? I know you said you're not ready for a dog moment yet because I'm in Manhattan. Why could I see Wes doing like old school Paris Hilton with like a Chihuahua and a Louis Vuitton bag?
Stop.
Kind of a vibe.
That would be pretty adorable. And with your Uggs, come on, Wes.
That's fair. I like big dogs, but we don't discriminate.
Okay.
Um, I do, but like I love we have German Shepherds at the house right now. And
Okay.
so we're just very like my mom when she takes them on walks, like my cute little mom and two big German Shepherds, like it's just a good look, you know.
Oh, that is so
That is a good
cute.
look. That
Yeah,
really,
but so
really
then
is.
also we're like dogs, hot dogs, condiments. We're like honing in on hot dogs specifically.
Okay.
Wow.
Um, and so we're gonna do a hot dog stand May 17th. So bring,
Okay.
yeah, bring your
In the
furry.
city?
Yeah.
Wait, bring
I'm
Max.
unsure. I'm unsure if I'm gonna be the mustard guy, if I'm gonna be the dog sauce, the drizzler guy,
Ooh.
actually cooking hot dogs. We're gonna
Oh
find
my
out.
God. Okay, I'm definitely bring because I have a little golden doodle named Max, so he definitely has to stop by and get some sauce.
Please bring Max.
Yeah. Wait, speaking of dogs, your number one dog on Summer
Oh,
House,
oh.
Jesse. We got to talk about him because
Oh,
we
there's no
had
sauce on him.
yeah.
There's all dogs.
We had some time with you and Jesse in the studio this season, but now things have developed to deeper, possibly darker places on the show. How are we supporting our boy Jesse in real time as this plays out between him and Lexi?
I think uh, in real time, I mean, it's pretty clear like what's going on and like where they are now, given
Yeah.
both of their interviews. Um, so I think they at least they're allowed to like the end result is not something that they have to kind of like tiptoe around at this point, which I think might make it easier. But getting through the reunion is kind of what I was had my eyes out for Jesse, and that's happened. Uh,
Hmm.
and I guess it's up to you guys to decide if he handled himself well or not. But it,
Well, speaking of dogs, I feel like you guys traded places about being in the doghouse at reunions. Yeah, you can spill that. You can spill that coffee because it's true. You opened the gate, you scampered out, and now he is right in there. I
yeah,
am. Yeah, is that how it felt for him there?
maybe a little, but like I'll just say it was less. I think he could walk out of the reunion with his head up. I'll say
Oh,
that.
wow. Okay.
I don't know if
Now,
that's what you wanted to hear or not, but
no, 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 no. I mean, look, like we're just excited and
We love
anxious to see.
everyone.
Yeah, like we're team whatever makes both Lexi and Jesse happy. I am curious though, what did you feel like there was support for Lexi at the reunion? Because sometimes it feels like to me on the show as a viewer, the women on the show are torn between showing support for Jesse or Lexi. Then there is the Sierra piece, which also makes things difficult.
Mm.
So did you feel like Lexi had support or did it feel like Lexi Island?
there were moments for both. I would say. I will say in her defense, like she's so articulate and well spoken that like I think she could hold her own in any situation ever. We've already
Mm-hmm.
seen her kind of like in her chats one on one with Jesse or in group settings. She like doesn't need help at all.
Mhm.
Right.
Um, but yeah, this is like a weird, yeah, there's like so many weird complexities to this situation. But I will say, like, uh, she was certainly like leading the charge.
Okay.
Yeah,
And are
as
you
she
now?
should, though, as she should be.
Yeah. And I'm kind of curious now because you and Jesse both have dipped your toes in dating on Bravo, and
Yeah,
we're watching you this current season going
yeah.
out to, you're like, I'm just on couches, live your best life. Do you
Hmm.
feel Jesse should follow suit to be like, babe, if this is how you play games, or this is how you want to romance, maybe don't have it be with a co-star.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously like right now or like this summer that's airing, like it was nice not dating someone. Like
Yeah.
it's not probably fun for you guys, but like, oh my goodness,
We're creative. We can connect
it's
the
so,
dots. Yeah.
it's so stress free. Yeah, he could try that, or he could just try to like slow down for 1 sec, you
Mm.
know? I'd say it's fair to say we both probably weren't ready for either of those, but I think for starters, he could like bring the pace car back a little bit and like go slower.
Do you think that this connection between him and Sierra, obviously you're looking at it from a very unique perspective because you and Sierra had your thing the
Mhm.
previous summer, but with time and space and reflection, do you think that maybe he and Sierra do have a real strong connection that they could or should pursue? Because the social media activity is giving very much that.
Yeah, part of it I think Jesse like trolls like half
Mhm.
of everything he posts is like a troll job. Um,
Okay.
but they like I've gotten the question obviously a lot. They behaved that way while Sierra and I were like getting to know each other last summer. So to me, it's never I never thought of it as romantic.
Mm.
I guess maybe like I'm in no place to tell either of them like what to do,
Mhm.
but I just haven't seen it that way because it's felt the same since like the beginning of our first summer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, what I'm curious about too.
I know that's not how it like reads to people on TV, but like I don't care. Who
Well,
cares?
I think it's reading differently now because they're both semi. Well, because Sierra is single with him now, and Jesse acts like he's single sometimes with her. So it's
Hmm.
giving more like of a potential setup. You know what I mean? So I think that's maybe why. And also after Lexi, we interviewed her last week, and she told us that she had a birthday party and everyone went, but Jesse and Sierra, and they hung out and said, "Did you go to her birthday party?"
That was talked about at the reunion, actually, that specific interview. Uh,
Really?
yeah, because
Okay.
Sierra had words about that specific messaging.
Oh,
So I'll let them hash it
Hmm.
out because I wasn't a part of either
I,
side.
I, I hope the clip played where we said Sierra and Lexi should be friends.
Yeah, but that birthday clip is like fully hashed out.
Okay, okay,
Wow.
So
resolution.
Well,
yeah, strap in.
Lexi, we're definitely strapped in, but Lexi did say, as we mentioned to her, we would like to see them become friends. She was like, I think we can be friends. She and Sarah, she was talking about. Do you think that they left the reunion in a place where they could develop a friendship, or that's
Yeah,
an
I don't. Yeah, it wasn't because nothing between those two. Also, not to like bring the Canadian thing up, but Lexi is Canadian and like super kind, and like I don't see her being like you're dead to me type. You know,
Yeah.
like
uh-huh.
I think Lexi would always be open arms for friendships, and I think she mentioned that too on Thursday. Um, but yeah, they definitely like hash things out.
That's good. Wait, and speaking of friendships, I like that you are maybe the only boy who really gives love to Imrul. And even like, because I saw
Oh,
like you shared like a GoFundMe he's promoting and everything like that, which is so amazing that you are like having a more of a relationship with him than the other guys. Everyone, was he the guy taking the picture of all the boys and Andy after, or was he not invited?
no, we left at separate times. Like so that like
Okay.
the reunion had different like call time,
Segments.
leave times, I guess, for
Okay.
different people. And uh he had like left the studio before we left. That was just like we just snuck out and went to go get a burger. I mean, I wish he was there, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Do we have regrets over maybe not giving him a heads up? Because I was reading what he had to say about it on social media, and I was getting a little sad for him.
I texted him after and said like I should have sent you a text. That's my bad. But it like he was already gone. Like he'd been gone for like an hour or two, and we just
Gotcha.
walked over from the studio.
Okay.
It's not like as deep as the
Well,
internet
and I'm
knows.
sure it also was a thing too, just like even like him with a first reunion. I would just be under the assumption reunion, everyone's emotions are at like 100 and you're just so drained. Like I'm honestly shocked y'all went out to dinner because I would just want to be in my bed eating takeout.
Yeah, I kind of like doing that because it reminds you that this shit is not as serious as it feels like it is sometimes, you know? But with Imrul, that's why I try to actively be a supportive friend
Mm-hmm.
in other ways so that when instances like this happen that the internet wants to like make a thing, he knows that like
Yeah.
I had his back, you know, when he had a GoFundMe and like
Yeah.
XYZ.
Mhm.
So you kind of yeah, I mean if you're a good friend in real life, then these little things hopefully don't
Yeah.
like
Are you so happy that you had this second reunion to maybe, I'm assuming, probably have a lot more fun than you did last
yeah.
reunion?
And
Okay,
I
okay.
said stuff.
You said so.
I
Okay,
have
Yes.
so that
words.
that is important. Yes,
Okay.
we love
Yes.
that because you're a funny boy, and I
I
feel like we miss out on a lot
know.
of the humor and the jokes and the riz that you embody on your first reunion. So I'm glad you brought that
Thanks.
energy to this reunion. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot from the first one. But coming into this one, like just knowing how it the logistics, how it operates, when you get to talk, when like Andy asked questions, whatever, I was just way more comfortable. Still not like built, I'm still not a reunion guy. That's like never gonna be my cup of tea. Like being serious and having all these fucking arguments is not like what I am.
Uh,
I was not born to do that, but I actively made uh progression this time,
Okay.
which
I
okay.
is all
love
you
that.
can do, you know, is just try to be better.
I also love when you were stretching and flexing, which shout out to the arms. I also love the shirt you're wearing, and it reminded me of the votes for women. And I love the interview you did about like loving just like living in Hell's Kitchen and all of
Mhm.
the drag queens and the LGBT community around there. I
Mhm.
hope NBC is doing a Pride float this year because I need West on it.
Oh my God, yes. I need you shirtless, covered
Yeah,
in rainbow body paint.
and some of
Just
the dog sauce.
Yeah, some of the
yeah,
dog sauce, absolutely.
that is I'll make you a deal if I can find a flow to get on. If someone can give me a lap dog, I'll bring a dog.
Okay,
How fun would that be?
I'll stop taking Ozempic for a month and I'll look like a float again, and then I could be the Pride float.
Wait,
Your
Wes, do
collar
you
says just cutie pie.
Wes, though, speaking of the gays and the community,
Mhm.
and you're literally speaking to two gays right now. What do you make of all the attention from the gay male fans of Bravo? Because I'll speak for the entire community. Like we just eat you up. We love it, and we do love a shirtless moment in the tiny shorts on the show. It's just
Yeah.
thank you for that. So yes, how do you feel about us?
One, love ya. You guys specifically. It's funny how obviously the like LGBTQ audience in Bravo is like very deep and like a huge part of this community, but it's still funny to like they're still guys, you know what I mean? And like so the DMs I get from like gay men versus straight women, the gay
Oh,
men are still 20 times crazier. Just like off the walls horny. And it's funny to like it's so wholesome to me that like that's still a dude, you know. Still just
I
a
love that
horny
you
dog running
emphasis
around.
on wholesome, I'm
I
sure. Yeah.
I love that you're like I get so many dick pics essentially. That's so wholesome.
Uh, uh, or just like there's no decorum, like just straight up like the most
Oh,
crazy things. There's never like a hey.
oh,
It's
who is
like
time?
We're cutting to the
Honey, we're talking about
chase.
doors and dogs and hays
I
for horses.
know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know
A,
it's
a
beautiful.
dude is a
But
dude is a dude.
yeah, I also like again living in Hell's Kitchen, I've had like a lot of encounters where I'm like wrong guy, but like if this works for you, God bless. Like just insane ways to pick up dudes.
You're like in another lifetime. Wait, because we have to let you go because you're a busy boy. With the hot dog cart event, it's May 17th, right? Can you tease
Yeah.
us what's going to be the vibe there?
Good vibes. But I mean, anytime, like, if you saw a hot dog cart and saw everyone with bringing their dogs and like someone's doing the drizzlers on dog food and someone's doing mustard on actual hot dogs,
I'm stopping.
that's why I said earlier this partnership is like the best of like five worlds. Hot dogs, dogs, condiments, your boy, pedigree. Like it's just like perfect. It's like so fun.
Oh, well,
So
you're
pull up.
perfect. You're so fun. Wes, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you as always.
Love you guys.
Love
Yeah,
you.
and we'll see you at the hot dog stand.